Hey everybody, this is just an intro and beginner Roth IRA video that I want to make as of December 2025. I'm making this video just because I know that this year was very difficult, I think, in terms of the job market for a lot of different industries, so I want to kind of go ahead and start making different videos on different topics and subjects just because I know that I was lucky because I happened to graduate at a good time. So I just wanted to go ahead and provide a free resource for people so that they can use it. So to tell you a little bit about me, so I have my bachelor's in petroleum engineering from the University of Texas at Austin. I graduated back in December 2021. And I want to kind of go ahead and share that just to kind of provide, context. At the end of the day, I didn't go to business school. I don't have a master's in finance. I don't have an MBA. And I just want to kind of give context to that just because, I think engineers look at things a little bit differently than how maybe people who went to business school look at things. So I just want to kind of give that clarity up front. I think it was a great degree at the end of the day. I really loved the curriculum. Kind of looking at how things are right now when I was in school, there's a lot of talk about how, there's going to be big data and AI and the energy space. And I definitely see that kind of through my own work experience. I have 4 years of full time experience in the energy trading space. So I've gotten the chance to get exposure to the crude and refined product space as well as the power and natural gas space. And right now, as of December 2025, I think there's a lot of demand and push for power and natural gas. And so I think it's very interesting, again, a lot of changes have happened over the years since I've started working and then just from college as well. So just wanted to point that out. In terms of skills, I have skills in Python, Excel, VBA, Power BI, quantitative risk, and machine learning. To talk kind of more about all these different skill sets. So, in the quantitative risk side, so I know Black-Scholes model and options theory and about the different Greeks, just because on a trade floor, depending on where you're working, it can get very quantitative. In terms of Python, I can kind of use it for different applications as well, right? I'm able to create different data visualizations within Python, use SQL to also kind of pull data in there, and then of course Excel, VBA, Power BI, they can all be used in conjunction with one another. So kind of want to point these skill sets out just because the more videos I make, the more I'm probably going to use these skill sets. So at the end of the day, I want to be able to make videos in a way that it is free for everybody. I think with every video, I am going to point out a notable charitable cause that I think it's a good idea to contribute. There's no pressure or obligation to contribute, but I just want to kind of go ahead and include this in all of my videos just so that people are aware. And again, I want to continue always to make these videos for free because I just want this to be a free resource for everyone, I hope. But to kind of talk through this, scholarship fund. So this is the Arletta Tompkins Memorial Scholarship in Petroleum Engineering. So she was actually my college advisor. So she passed away back in November 18 of 2021. She was an amazing person. She was super helpful when I was attending school. I definitely am very lucky and privileged because I was able to get a lot of scholarships through the Hildebrand Department of Petroleum Engineering at UT. And I think she played a big part in this just because she was great about coordinating not only scholarships but internships as well. And I think she was an amazing person. So I'm glad that they created this memorial scholarship fund in her name. And to kind of talk through the scholarship, right? The scholarship was created to support students facing financial hardship that affects their ability to focus on academics. So this scholarship actually has no GPA requirement, and I think this is a great scholarship to contribute to just because I think with other scholarships you're going to have GPA requirements, but I think this scholarship takes into account the fact that if you're a college student, maybe you have to put yourself through college, and so you might have to work different part-time jobs to put yourself through school. So I think this is a great fund to contribute to just because it kind of takes into account the fact that everyone kind of has different life circumstances. So I highly recommend just giving to this scholarship fund. I personally give to it as well. I also put the kind of designation, right? So I'll put the link to kind of like the scholarship fund in the description box below, and just make sure to kind of select this option if you are going to contribute, and really appreciate it if you do. So now to jump into like the actual topic of the Roth IRA. So Roth IRA is a retirement savings account. You can contribute post-tax dollars to it, so it's very different than something like a 401k or a regular IRA where you're contributing pre-tax dollars to both. And so, the good thing about the Roth IRA, which I think is different also compared to the 401k or a regular IRA, is that you can withdraw your contributions at any time, penalty free. And then when it comes to actual profits that you make on this account, you can withdraw them after you reach the age of 59 and a half years old. So I'll walk you through an example and also talk more about like the different contribution limits as well. So the Roth IRA has different contribution limits, as well as even income limits where you may or may not be eligible depending on your filing status, and then also like your income. So I'll say that depending on how much you make, you might not be eligible to contribute to the Roth IRA, but I want to just go ahead and talk through like the contribution limits. If you are in theory or hypothetically eligible, in like this year, so like 2025, under the age of 50, you're able to contribute $7,000 in the account. If you're 50 years and up, then you can contribute $8,000. For next year, the limit is being increased to $7,500 if you're under the age of 50. And then if you're 50 years or up, then it's $8,600 for 2026. So to get started contributing to a Roth IRA, I included the top 3 brokerage accounts. So you can always go online and open up, account with either Fidelity, Charles Schwab, and Vanguard. I personally have Fidelity, and I contribute $500 a month. So every month, $500 is just auto withdrawn from my checking account into my Fidelity account, and I am currently invested in AMAGX, which is the Amana mutual fund, and I highly recommend this. I've been invested in this for almost 2 years now, and I can guarantee returns on this. I was going to also add, I think the best thing about the Roth IRA is that it does provide that flexibility where if you needed to ever withdraw money because of emergency purposes, you're able to do that. You're just not able to withdraw any profits you make from this account. So if I kind of walk through an example, so if I say contributed like to the absolute max for this year, if I contributed $7,000, and because I'm invested in this stock or mutual fund, if I end up making $9,000, or kind of like gaining $2,000 from kind of investing that original $7,000 in the account, I am able to still pull out this contribution, and then you would have to just subtract out the $7,000, and you can see that this is a profit, so you can't pull this out. But I think, in my opinion, it's a great, beginner account to invest in, just because it's good in the sense that you have that flexibility, right? If you needed that original $7,000 that you contributed, you can always take it out. I think another thing to kind of think about is like if you invest in this account, eventually, it will add up to where if you ever needed a down payment on a house or a down payment for anything else, or just like have like emergency savings, this account can kind of like act as that for you, even though if the original intention is for it to be a retirement account, that kind of mentality will still be there, right? If you never want to pull money out of this, it's still kind of, in my opinion, though, a great way to kind of have like a liquid, I guess you can say, investment account, just because other accounts, like if you were to pull out any contributions, you'll have to pay a penalty. So just wanted to kind of talk through a little bit of the maybe very bare bones of like what a Roth IRA is, and then give an example of how you can kind of use it in your own personal finance. So there are definitely more, I think, complexities to the Roth IRA. For example, if you're wanting to roll, one account into the Roth IRA, for example, like a 401k or just an IRA into the Roth, there's a little bit more complexity to it and there's more rules, but I just want to kind of give a high level beginner overview of the account just in case so that if people are interested, they can go ahead and open it. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'll also leave my LinkedIn in the description box just in case if there's any questions about my background, as well as like other questions as well. I'm looking forward to making more videos and hope you enjoyed this video.